Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Debbie Semi, and I'm the president of Impact 100 Garden State. We are coming to you live thanks to the hospitality of Mary Jane Robertson. Before we start, just a reminder that our host has muted everyone except our speakers, and best viewing is in speaker view, which in Zoom means you will see gallery view in the top right-hand corner. This fall, we want to grow our membership, what we call the Multiply Her effect, so that we can award more impact grants. The more members, the more grant money we can award to local nonprofits who need our help more than ever. We hope you will be inspired to help us by tonight's program. Special thanks to member and gold sponsor, Wendy Aresti, whose close friend and financial advisor, Donna DiIanni of Merrill Lynch in Aspen, Colorado, was instrumental in coordinating the participation of our two remarkable guest speakers, Wendy Steele, founder and creator of the Impact 100 model, and Carrie Morgridge, vice president of Morgridge Family Foundation. In addition to hearing from Wendy and Carrie, you will be hearing from Franz Deladan and Marcia Hunter about exciting new resources that will help us spread our message, including a video in which you will hear about the impact that we have had on our grant recipients and our members. Then there will be a Q&A with Wendy and Carrie, moderated by our own Merle Johnson. Giving is an investment that says you have hope for the future, that what you do today will make a difference tomorrow. These are the words of our first guest speaker, Carrie Morgridge. Carrie is a philanthropist, an author, a mother and wife, an Ironman triathlete, and a member of every impact chapter in the world. Carrie is vice president of the Morgridge Family Foundation, but the title she prefers is Chief Disruptor. Her foundation's contributions have been in the tens of millions, with a focus on improving education, health, wellness, the arts, and the environment. Sounds a lot like our 5 impact grant focus areas. In addition to sharing a love of Impact 100, Carrie and I share one more thing. No, not competing in an Ironman triathlon, but it's that this spring we both became first-time grandmothers. Please join me in welcoming Carrie Morgridge, Impact 100 member and benefactor extraordinaire. Carrie?
Hi, good evening, everyone at Impact 100 Garden State. It is such a pleasure to finally see all your faces. I've actually been scrolling through and looking at everybody. It's so fun to see Wendy Aresti family. And it's also, I don't get to see Donna DiIanni, but I know that she is on the call. So it's just so fantastic to be here. I was asked to talk about what did Morgridge Family Foundation see in Impact 100 and why did we get involved? I was asked to be a keynote at one of the Impact chapters in Palm Beach because I live close to there in Stuart, Florida. And I thought I would get up there and wow them with my transformation and my disruption and what I'm doing. And instead, I was quickly humbled and quieted because Impact 100 women were already doing that too. Then when we talked about the 5 or 6 areas of giving, believe it or not, just like I was introduced, we were 100% aligned. So I knew I wanted in then. Within a week, I was calling Wendy Steele and saying, how do I scale you? This is unbelievable. I've never seen a program that empowers women as much as Impact 100. And I've never in my life wanted to be part of a movement the way I want to be a part of the Impact 100 movement. So, you know, Wendy and I dabbled. I have to give a shout out to my right-hand guy, John Farnham, who would love to join the Impact 100 chapters, but as a man, he can't. So when we took Wendy to Australia and New Zealand this year, because we started a chapter in New Zealand, there were already 6 chapters in Australia. John Farnham is now a proud member of all 6 chapters in Australia. So there is a way for men to fit in our organization. They just have to go out of country. So that being said, Mortgage Family Foundation, I just wanted to paint a little picture for you because they've only given me 4 minutes to speak. For the last year, we have been working with a company called Sparks and Honey out of New York. And then COVID hit. And our timing couldn't have been better because we knew that philanthropy was going to change. So we hired a firm to help us understand where the puck was going. And so we created with Sparks and Honey, the Future of Giving. And what that did was it looked at 25 million data points from RSS feeds, from news feeds, and what was going on in social media. And we took a hard look at that, and we now have 5 cultural shifts that are going to reshape giving forever. Believe it or not, Wendy and Impact 100 was already there on where the puck is going. And they clearly fit in one of the 5 structural shifts called diminishing societal trust. And let me explain. Diminishing societal trust clearly is a decline in government trust, brands, institutions, individuals. But philanthropy can solve this, but it will help us remain relevant. It's gonna have to have radical transparency. And so when I think about radical transparency and diminishing societal trust, there is no better place that I'd rather be right now than as part of an Impact 100 chapter solving complex problems in my own community. Some of our key learnings to that is supporting grassroots and getting involved with giving circles. Wendy was already there. You are already there. You're already ahead of your time. We're going to be talking about this for the next 5 decades on how giving circles are really going to change and improve diminishing societal trust. The other thing that I think is really important to share is that religion has been on the declining trend. Women need a place to belong. There is not a better place to belong than Impact 100, in my opinion. And then 2 more things. Polarization is the antithesis of creativity, of collaboration, and critical thinking. So just think about how important that is to be inclusive at all of our clubs or our chapters. And then lastly is be a truth teller. So I'll leave you with, I am a no bullshit girl. I am telling you the truth right now that we have to start telling the truth of what is fact and what's not. And we have to start sharing that out more and more on social media. So those are some of the core reasons I got involved with Impact 100. It's probably been the most fulfilling thing I've ever done at MFF History. It's one of our proudest grants. And it's just super excited to be on the Impact 100 Council. And it's just an honor to meet all of you face to face. I know that I'm a chapter member with you. I get 1 vote with you. I do vote. I just don't get to attend your meetings. So thank you today for having me.
Well, we want to extend a huge thank you to you, to Carrie. Thank you so much for being such an amazing guest tonight, live from your home in Big Sky, Montana. And we love the fact that you are a chief disruptor. We appreciate your time, your inspiration and motivation. In fact, the timing of your visit with us is really impeccable as we launch our very first membership kickoff event. So thank you so much. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Franz Deladon, Impact 100's Membership Enrollment and Renewal Co-Chair.
And I'm Marcia Hunter, co-chair with Franz, as well as with Merle Johnson. And we've been doing this for a long time.
Yes, we have. I think since the beginning, back in 2013. Our mission is to get you to renew and to spread the word. And we're here to help you do that. The pandemic has posed huge challenges to our 5-county area nonprofits. Many are struggling under the double burden of reduced funding and greater demand for their services. Now more than ever, they need our help. And now more than ever, we can truly make a difference. Members are the core of our organization. They join and they renew year after year because of our collective impact. And they learn about the issues affecting the nonprofit community. Impact 100's formula works. We provide positive results. We transform lives and we do it together. So why join, you may ask yourself? How many times are you being asked to write that $25, $50, $100 check or greater and not really be sure if your donation is making a difference? How many of us would love to be able to write a check for $100,000 to a local nonprofit, but can't? The beauty and simplicity of Impact 100's concept is that women like all of us are able to collectively pool each of our $1,000 annual donations, resulting in multiple $100,000 grants being awarded yearly to those who need it most.
And remember, every nickel of your $1,000 donation goes to grants. You get to vote for your top nonprofit program choices. There are no membership requirements, and you can design your own volunteer experience. And you can join now, renew now, and pay later, but no later than January 31st. In 2021, we aim to continue this transformative journey together with your help. So how can you help make 2021 membership year a banner year? Invite those women you know to a virtual meet and mingle gathering. The membership team will handle the rest. These meet and mingles are specifically designed for introducing Impact 100 to prospective members. Over a dozen dates are scheduled between now and the end of October. You can find them on our website. We'll have more of them in following months until our membership drive closes on January 31st.
So, how can the membership team help you spread the word? We've made it incredibly easy for you. Thanks to a new and super useful membership communication toolkit, everything you need to help tell our Impact 100 story is now available on our website's member portal. You'll also find lots of valuable marketing information there for you to use. The toolkit also offers everything you need to invite your friends to a virtual meet and mingle gathering or to host one with us. We ask that you think beyond your immediate network to help us open doors to groups and organizations we don't have a connection with, but you do. How can you help make 2021 a banner impact grant year? Renew, join, and help us spread the word. Marcia, why don't you just tell everyone how easy it is to renew their membership and how easy it is to join for the first time?
Of course. But first, I want to thank our 140 members who have already renewed and joined us for 2021. We are on a roll. And did you know that every year we have to start our membership drive anew? We start with 0 members and build from there. Think about that for a moment. Membership and grants go hand in hand. The more members, the more grants we award each year. You can join or renew now and pay later by submitting your dues at any time between now and January 31st. And it's easy to do. We ask both new and returning members to complete the online membership application. Your employer can also sponsor your membership. It's a great way for companies to recognize high-performing employees while giving back to the community. And don't forget to check with your employer about matching your donation. Matching gifts are a huge help to our operating expenses. Everything can be found on our website, including ways to pay.
And in addition to your annual donation, if you choose to get involved, there are plenty of things to do. And as with anything, the more you participate, the more you'll get out of your experience. Because when you give, you also receive, as Carrie told us earlier. Best of all, you'll meet a lot of smart, amazing, and caring women like you. On that note, this fall, the membership engagement team is hosting a variety of virtual coffee and conversations with really terrific speakers and topics. Be sure to check our website and our Happenings newsletter for dates and registration details. And to those of you who are interested in supporting smaller, worthy nonprofits, backed by popular demand, we are now again offering our Rising Stars Grant Initiative. Please check out our website for complete details on nominating your favorite small nonprofit. Nominations will be accepted until December 10. Marcia and I, and many of you, are proud to renew our commitment to Impact 100 Garden State every year. Let's keep the momentum going together. Renew, join, and help us spread the word.
And don't take our word for it. Take a moment to watch this video first. which will show what Impact 100 means to our members and to our nonprofit grant recipients.
And I'm taken aback on behalf of our patients and the children of Dover. We really want to thank you and all of the participants in Impact 100 Garden State.
You have given hope not only to the 100 teens who are going to be in this program, but really to our community, because they are the next generation and they will make a difference.
On behalf of our staff and our board, and most importantly on the thousands of our homeless neighbors who this is going to help in the years ahead, I'd like to thank you all for placing your trust in Homeless Solutions.
We received significant funding from Impact 100 Garden State to support our GED program, which serves impoverished women, and through which we offer impoverished women who have very low educational levels the opportunity to earn a GED degree.
Those who apply and get to work with the Network of Women have access to this amazing, powerful network of givers in New Jersey, and it's going to be beneficial to your overall organization just working with them.
It's just such a privilege to be able to say yes to the need in our community, because we have the support of people like the members of Impact 100 Garden State, and we're just really appreciative that we can do what we do best, and that the community is happier and healthier for it.
Picking up on Pink's heartwarming song, which ends with the phrase, "A million dreams for the world we're going to make." In reality, together we've made over $2 million worth of dreams come true. Because as soon as Merle announces our 2020 Impact Grant recipients, that's how much money we'll collectively have awarded since our inception. How amazing is that? The power of collective giving is real, and we are a part of it all.
The word inspire comes from a Greek word which means to blow through. The inspiration that blows through Impact 100 Garden State is not just a gentle breeze. It's a gale force wind. The more members that I get to meet and know, the more I am blown away by their passion, their genius, their talents, and their desire to serve.
Along with my amazing colleague and fellow Impact 100 member, Claire McCoy, we have represented Bank of New York Mellon's sponsorship of Impact 100 for the past few years.
My favorite part so far of being a member of this organization has been that I've been able to learn something new. I became a member of the grant committee, having had no experience in the grant review process, but it allowed me to learn about how to be effective and to be efficient in that process, and then actually go out and use those new skills in real life.
It's a wonderfully dynamic environment.
The ages, the diversity of the people, the backgrounds, the skills that they have are phenomenal.
Everybody wants to make a difference in this world. You're doing it, ladies.
And now, it gives me great pleasure to welcome our event's second very special guest, Wendy Steele, founder and creator of the Impact 100 model. Take a minute to reflect as you hear about the Impact 100 movement, how it got started. We're so honored to have you with us. Thank you. Wendy?
Oh my gosh. Good evening, Impact 100 Garden State. I am not sure how I can speak after that beautiful video had me literally fighting tears. The impact you all have made so far is powerful. It's so moving for me to be able to join you. But like Carrie, I've only been given 4 minutes. And like Carrie, neither one of us typically can say, hello, my name is within the first 4 minutes. So I'm going to have to keep it moving, which is difficult after that powerful presentation and those inspiring words. But thank you all for joining us. Carrie and I are coming alongside your leadership, and we're really here to ask a critical question. What now? You've just heard how much you've done so far. But what's next for Impact 100 Garden State? Well, you are each invited to help write that next chapter. Is it still 2020? Because this feels like the longest year ever. But in many ways, it's kind of familiar. You know, I wish I could tell you that back in 2001, when I created the Impact 100 model, I imagined that one day Carol Rogers would be inspired to introduce Impact 100 to your lovely community, but I honestly had no idea. Back then, as a transplant to Cincinnati, Ohio, I was concerned about the number of women I had met there who were being left behind. These were bright, capable women who faced barriers they couldn't overcome that prevented them from taking part in community service or philanthropy. I watched helplessly as they wrung their hands and worried about the problems facing their community. I knew they needed to see what it felt like to be a part of the solution. I had seen and experienced this kind of transformation, from worry to hope, from crisis to resolution. I understood then, just as I do now, that the problems facing humanity are too urgent and too complex to be solved by only a few. Back then, I saw the women in Cincinnati as unique. I thought I was designing this Paths Through Foundation as a solution for a very specific community, but I know better now. I've now worked with women in more than 60 communities who face those same barriers and are looking to the Impact 100 model to fund their local community's most powerful solutions. It's humbling and honestly so amazing when we consider that together we've given away almost $80 million to solve our most pressing problems. I was on vacation that summer. It was during the summer of 2001 when I designed what we now know as Impact 100. And while away, I reached out to several women, asking them to help build this new thing. So when I returned home and put the kids back in school, I was ready to go, or so I thought. That was when 9/11 happened. It was unprecedented. The world as we knew it had completely changed. We all needed to regain our footing. We needed to grieve. These were uncharted waters, and we were desperate for a map. In late October, I called together the 15 women I had identified as potential founding board and asked some questions. Is the time now? Is Cincinnati the place? Are we the people to launch this thing? More importantly, if not us, then who? And if not now, then when? These are the same questions I hope you would each ask yourselves. It was almost 20 years ago that I had that conversation, but it certainly rings true now. This year has been a year of great challenge for so many of our neighbors and friends. And just like in 2001, we see so much need all around us. But we also see the bright lights among us. We see people who are committed to helping others in spite of, or perhaps because of, our current circumstances. We need you now more than ever. Impact 100 was built on the premise that we're stronger and smarter together. By bringing together an eclectic group of diverse women to review, examine, and discuss grant applications, the best solutions always emerge. by inviting all women to see themselves as philanthropists. We are mobilizing a new face and force for good, because we need your hearts, your minds, and your checkbooks now more than ever. I believe your generous hearts will do all you can to grow your impact in 2021. I believe you'll dig deep. You'll recommit to funding your Impact 100 membership for next year, or you'll join for the first time. My hope is that you won't stop there. I hope you will spread the word. Tell your friends, your family, your neighbors, and colleagues about this powerful movement and invite them to join you. I hope you'll reach out to local men and businesses too, because as Carrie said, in addition to joining those chapters we have in Australia, men and corporations can do a great thing when they support their local Impact 100 chapter. You can invite them to provide the funding that may allow a woman who could not afford her membership otherwise this year in the form of a matching grant or a scholarship. You all know that 100% of your membership dollars get pooled together and given away in our grants. So perhaps the men and companies in your area would like to fund some of the administrative expenses that we just can't barter away. Now more than ever, won't you grow your impact in 2021? If you've been a member, please re-up. If you haven't served on any committees, maybe 2021 is the year you serve. Perhaps it'll be the year that you invite 5 friends to join this powerful movement. No matter what you choose, please know that I and all of us at Impact 100 Global Council will be here to help. Count on me to always be cheering your impact. I think it's clear that we live in a connected world where we rise and fall together. Let's choose to rise at Impact 100 Garden State and lift others as we do so. That's the purpose of Impact 100. I believe it's how we're called to live. And I can tell you that I am in for 2021. And looking at how much you've accomplished so far, I'm excited to see what's next. So won't you join me? Let's do this together. Thank you.
Oh, Wendy, thank you. That was so fabulous. Thank you so much. It occurred to me while you were talking that you are the original multiplier. It started with you. So following the model developed by you, I'm not a math person, but I also said, you mentioned $80 million in grants, and my little mind went, that's 80,000 women that have said yes. It took a total of 80,000 hit that join now button. 80, that's incredible, absolutely incredible. And we grow stronger every year. We certainly hope to continue to grow stronger. So I'm gonna ask Emily now to throw up that join now screen for about 10, 15 seconds, if she would. Thank you. I know that there are women out there that after hearing Carrie and France and Marcia and now Wendy, there are women who want to help us grow to 400 members this year. France is about to die over here when I said 400, but that's 4 $100,000 grants in 2021. And ladies, as Gina said, we are doing it. Each and every member is making a difference, but we cannot do it without you. So hopefully you've hit that button. Thank you all for joining, and thank you for all those who have joined in 2021 already. Now let's get back to Wendy and Carrie. I hope you guys don't mind, but we took the liberty of asking members to submit questions when they registered. And so hopefully you, Carrie and Wendy, have a few minutes to stick with us. I think we actually have about 10, 15 minutes we can use for questions. So I'm gonna put my glasses on so I read them correctly. Now our members send in these questions prior to the hearing you guys talk. but I also want to let anybody know that send in questions. If we didn't answer your question, someone from the leadership team will be emailing you a response. So don't feel like we have left you out, okay? All right, Carrie, you get the first question.
Okay.
You mentioned diminishing societal trust. I think we're all kind of fascinated by that concept. Could you elaborate on that a little bit for us?
Sure. As I had talked, what is really exciting to me about this horrible time that we're in is how we can change it. And the way we're going to change diminishing societal trust, there are many different steps, and everybody is going to resonate with one or two things. But the key finding to helping diminishing societal trust is by forming a giving circle. So we're going to see giving circles come on stronger than ever. And so more now than ever, not only is it to join this impact, but just so you know, I might be a nudger, and I nudged Wendy. I want her to open 500 chapters in the next 5 years. So she's on a good pathway. She opened 6 or 8 this year, but to get to 500, her numbers, for those of you math majors out there and in the financial world, I think she has to do a little more a year. So it's what I love to, and this is what I love to say to women when I'm giving a keynote or when I'm just talking, whether it's in the grocery store or wherever. Do you know about Impact 100? The second they say no, I'm like, oh, fantastic. And you know why I say fantastic? I say start a chapter. You are not going to believe how rewarding it is, and how that feeling that you get that you're doing something with purpose and with passion. One of the things that I was asking Wendy, and it really took me aback when I first got involved with Impact 100, is how did you get 500 women to agree? You know, the one woman, one vote? I was miffed by that. Like, didn't people have sectors, and didn't they have their own passions? But with her model and the process of whittling down those final contestants, and you saw the passion in them tonight. You saw it in the video. That gentleman with the homeless shelter, he had me. He had me at hello. So, oh my God. And that is a feeling that I want to share with my girlfriends. That is a feeling I want to share with acquaintances. And that is a feeling I want to share with women who have never been asked to have a seat at the table. So if we're going to solve diminishing societal trust together, we have got to ask our girlfriends to have a seat at the table with us. And I think it's so important that we're not asking them for their money. We're asking them to be part of a movement. We're asking them to be part of the community. And that's why I get so excited about Impact 100. It's just so much more powerful than just writing a check. And that's what it is for me. And I get to do it 65 times a year.
Well, I thought I was aggressive at 400 members, 500 chapters. Woo. Okay, Wendy, are you away? I fan yourself off a little bit. Okay.
It's getting hot in here. Yes.
All right, Wendy, next question. This is a very timely one. In light of the increased focus on social justice in our society, what is Impact 100 doing to address and act upon issues of diversity, equity, and inclusion? This question came from Jen Cable in Newton.
Well, thank you, Jen Cable in Newton. This is a topic that is near and dear to my heart. Impact 100 was founded on the notion that we make better decisions when diverse experiences come together. And we see this repeating again and again. When we talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion in the Impact 100 context, we are talking about diversity by every definition that makes someone unique. And one of the things that many of you may have heard is that anecdotally, if you look at the members of an Impact 100 chapter virtually anywhere, approximately 50% of the women who join have never written a check for $1,000 to a single charity prior to joining Impact 100. I was that woman. When I created Impact 100, I myself had never given away $1,000, but I thought, well, I've given away several gifts of 100 here, 200 here. You know, I just figured I'll give it a whirl. The other 50% are seasoned philanthropists. These are women who have given away this much money prior to joining Impact, and in many cases, they've given away much more. The seasoned philanthropist, she has a view from the mountaintop. She understands the trends, she understands what's working and what's not nationally and internationally on these subject matters. At the other end of the spectrum, if you will, is a newly minted philanthropist. She may have either experienced some of the things that she's looking to solve or has firsthand knowledge of someone who has. She knows which local partners have to be at the table, which bus line. She knows the tactics of how to get it right. And if you imagine a rainbow of experience from that newly minted philanthropist to that seasoned philanthropist, when the discussion comes of every impact application that comes across that desk, better decisions are made with more and more information. And if you extrapolate that out to other definitions of diversity, you can understand why we have robust process, why our dialogue is rich, and why our grants are so powerful and successful. What we've done is July 1st, I signed the CEO Action Pledge for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. This is a pledge where I joined hundreds of CEOs across every industry in the United States. As a group, we get together and we not only commit that we ourselves will be making action, but that we will be encouraging our teams. From there, we've started an Impact 100 DEI committee. Amy Boak of Impact 100 Metro Detroit is co-chairing this important effort with me. And we already have about a dozen women around the Impact 100 footprint who've raised their hand to serve on the committee. If anyone at Garden State is interested and you haven't reached out, please do. We'd love to hear what you have to say. Our approach is going to center on belonging. When we talk about diversity, we understand what that means. But when we talk about inclusion and equity, it's something else altogether. We need all women to feel like they belong within Impact 100, regardless of their race, age, ethnicity, profession, sexual orientation, employment status, or anything else. We need them to know that they are an important part of everything that we do. And so our focus will begin there. And it will have three main pillars: link arms and learn. We will link arms with the very best out there, the people who are doing it well and getting it right. And we will do everything we can to learn and leverage what they know to help the Impact 100 network. We will listen and learn. We need to see where our blind spots are. We need to have some education and find out about implicit bias. We need to know what's happening without listening and without making an intentional address to learn. We'll never move from where we are, and we need to move from where we are. And then finally, we will lead. We'll not only lead ourselves, we'll lead our chapters, but I believe we will lead the sector. Right now, we are out ahead of many of our counterparts and colleagues who, like us, knew they had a big mountain to climb, but unlike Impact 100, they haven't moved. We are taking proactive steps, and we will continue to, and you will see DEI included as a thread weaving everything we do together.
May I also add on top of that? Sure. For diversity and inclusion, another important part is that we're all unique, right? So we all bring a unique perspective. Imagine the grantees we're missing out on because we don't know about that organization that really should be applying to Impact 100, that truly needs a real transformational gift. and how that $100,000 in certain neighborhoods can actually go 2 or 3 times further of what they're doing, because they've been so scrappy for so long. Most nonprofits we meet are super scrappy anyway. But when we look at minority led or run nonprofits, we're finding them to be putting everything together with a shoestring. And wouldn't it be fantastic for their first time in their lives to actually have this $100,000, to have this big audacious goal that is going to change the lives in their own community? And that's one of the things I think we're missing out at Impact 100, is how do we get more grantees to apply for our transformational gifts?
That is, I tell you, I couldn't have asked for a better lead into your next question, Carrie. This is from Jennifer Neighbors. And the question is, on your website, this is for Carrie, on your website, you mentioned transformative giving, excuse me. A phrase, as we know, is very similar to Impact 100. In today's world, do you have any advice for us on how to balance the very real everyday needs of nonprofits as a result of the pandemic while staying true to the mission of rewarding transformational grants?
Oh, Jennifer. Wow. So I'll explain a couple of things. Let me explain how Mortgage Family Foundation defines transformation. Transformation to us means that systems change. And COVID has actually helped leapfrog over how systems are changing, i.e., we've always talked about a digital divide in schools. And when COVID hit and kids had to start learning from home, we are 10 million laptops short. So that was addressing that need immediately, right? Because of COVID. But that's not transforming the system, because we didn't change how the teachers teach. When we look at a charter school like a KIPP or a Success Academy that you would know more in your New York, New Jersey area, those are having profound impacts because they changed the system. They changed how they delivered education. We talk about how HUD, there is a thing, if you haven't looked at it, it's called propel.org. SNAP benefits can now be accessed on an app on your phone. And they're sending people with SNAP benefits $5 coupons to see that, like Albertsons is saying, come shop with us and spend your SNAP benefits at Albertsons. How smart is that, right? Yeah. So the grantee wins, and also the SNAP benefit person wins, and there's this wonderful AI that's following that person. However, transformation in a life is still transformation, and I think that's where the confusion for a lot of the impact chapters are, like the homeless shelter. I don't know if they're changing their systems or if they're just helping more people. We also look, sometimes that scale can be transformative. Here's what happened for us with COVID. We don't fund desperation, we fund disruption. And COVID took us back, and we had to pivot, and we had to start funding desperation. So we've taken a full year off. We said no annual reports are due. If you want to send us accountability, you can, but you don't have to. And we also took that pledge for all nonprofits to say, you know what, we're just going to give out the money this year, and who can, but let's make sure that they survive. So what we found out when we were doing the Sparks and Honey report of the future of giving, we learned that 65% of all nonprofits operate on a $500,000 or less budget. So we put $1 million of COVID funding in $1,000 to $20,000 increments, and we were able to keep nonprofits alive, over 100 nonprofits, just from our little small $1 million. And I know it can sound like a lot, but it's not. But our $1 million kept 100 nonprofits going through the end of the year. So sometimes it's okay to break the rules, but then go back to your mission and come back bigger, badder, and stronger.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. We have one more question here. It was for Wendy, but actually Carrie has already answered the question, because the question was, Impact is celebrating its 20th anniversary next year. The success has been outstanding with $80 million awarded in grants. What's next? Well, we already know it's 500. 500.
500 chapters.
You don't even have to say anything, Wendy.
Oh my gosh. Well, I guess apparently in addition to those 500 chapters, I have no idea how that 500 chapter, I may not sleep again ever. Because let me tell you what else is on our plate. First of all, next year it's our 20th anniversary, and COVID or no COVID, we are still going to be celebrating. And so we will be having our Impact 100 Global Conference celebrating our 20th anniversary in the first couple of weeks of February 2021. We will kick off the celebration. It will be virtual. And it will not only celebrate everything Impact, it will have the content that you all are used to if you've gone to global conferences in the past, but more than anything, it will have full accessibility. Our goal is to get more than 500 Impact 100 women there. And the reason, above and beyond the great content, we also have some interesting keynoters that I can't quite share with you yet, but will definitely be a draw. 20th anniversary swag. Okay, I'm totally not a shopper, but I'm kind of a shopper for this. 20th anniversary swag is going to be amazing. And we are taking a page out of the Mortgage Family Foundation book in that we will be sending everyone who registers this party box that they will open on the opening night. We have lots of other fun, exciting things planned. So we have that going on. We will reach, I predict, even if we don't get 500 new chapters, I predict by our 20th anniversary year, we collectively will have given away $100 million.
Wow.
Think about that. Impact 100, $100 million in 20 years. So we'll be celebrating. We will also, but by the way, that 100 million, we're not going to stop. Our goal is to get to 1 billion with a B, $1 billion in philanthropic impact by 2035. So whether that's 500 chapters or whether that's all of you inviting all of your friends in our existing chapters growing bigger and better and stronger, $1 billion in 2035, which is in a blink of an eye. We have all kinds of new benefits that we are currently working on to roll out to the chapters. And so we will have all of that coming in the next year. Oh, and then I knew I was forgetting something. 2021 brings us our Global Day of Impact. This is when every Impact chapter everywhere celebrates their grants. And we've got some really exciting things keyed up for that as well that you will all be hearing more about probably in February, but brace yourselves. It's going to be a true celebration and you've got to be there. So that is the tip of the iceberg. We've got so much happening. What's happened this year so far is I now am not the Lone Ranger anymore at Impact 100 Global Council. So if you don't know my two remarkable colleagues, you need to know them. But Deborah Johnson, who is a co-founder from Impact the Palm Beaches and complete rock star, and Violetta Huseman, who, believe it or not, she and I worked together a million years ago. She was a member in the very first Impact 100 and is quoted in that famous People magazine article. And we are back together again, and she is helping me do all the things that I dropped the ball on until I got help. So we have a lot going on and more to come. So I know that was a little all over the map, but we're juggling a lot of balls over there.
What's stuck in my mind is the $1 billion. So I can tell you, if I'm going to bet on somebody, Wendy, I will bet on you in Impact 100. Let me say that. We're kind of out of time. We're really pretty much past where we thought we would be, but it's been fabulous. So I do, we are going to have to close it up here. I would ask you and Carrie to give us one or two liner on what's your final thought for tonight. Carrie?
I think it's just so incredible that there are so many brilliant, unique, incredible women out there right now. And I'm thinking about each of you, how you have one or two girlfriends that would also want to have this amazing feeling of joy when we give. And how that it's a gift. When I ask people to join Impact 100, I'm giving them the gift of joining. So, you know, let's make 2020 the best it can be for the rest of the year. Let's make 2021 on that giving day. Let's blow it out of the water. But we're only going to be able to do that together. And that's what I love about Impact 100. So I just want to say I love you all. I think you are amazing. But I really think that Wendy walks on water. I'm probably her biggest fan. Every time I listen to her speak, I'm just always at awe for how sensitive and thoughtful and brilliant she really is. So I'm looking forward to hopefully getting up to one of your chapter meetings at some point. I love New Jersey. It's the Garden State. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And so I can't wait to hop on a plane again and just have a glass of wine with all of you.
We would love to have you come as soon as possible. How about you, Wendy?
Oh my gosh. Well, first, Carrie, I will drink to that, and you are way too kind. My parting words are, we really are better together. So please, the time is now more than ever. Let's do this.
Thank you so much. Listen, thank you, Carrie and Wendy, for coming and joining us this evening. It has been wonderful. I can't wait to see you in person, as I do all of our members. We can see them in person. So we want to leave our members and guests with this one thought. One woman multiplied by many.
Now more than ever, you can make a difference.
Join us and make an impact.
Together, we can do great things.
Thank you for joining us this evening. Stay safe and good night.
Good night, thanks.
And the end of
Thank you.